you should only have eyes for me. Be still, my heart. Thankfully, HuiJu's and YiAn's lovers' spat didn't last. This time, they're properly a team, with HuiJu leading the way, while YiAn does all he can to protect her. As suspected, the Grand Prince had carried a torch for HuiJu since their school days. The look of understanding between him and JeongWoo shows that they both liked HuiJu, as they both found her pretty. Could this have been the reason JeongWoo never pursued HuiJu? And why YiAn wasn't offended or surprised by JeongWoo's proposal to HuiJu? Because he had known the Prime Minister carried a torch for her. Rather, he thought to protect her by breaking off their engagement. Truthfully, this decision reduced his swag a bit. I mean, it's understandable that he doesn't want a repeat of what happened to his mother, as he's still traumatized by it. But then, letting the Queen Mother have her way doesn't seem right. Gleefully, both he and HuiJu redeemed that at the end of the last episode. HuiJu is bound to be the Queen Mother's karma, as she has no fear in her. The Queen Mother can perceive this from afar, hence, she doesn't want the Grand Prince to end up with her, as she'd undermine her hold over the Grand Prince. What's more, we're going to have a very public royal proposal in the next episode. The little obstacle in the last episode is only going to make them stronger. HuiJu had thought that the banquet was going to be the most embarrassing event for her, but this is further from the truth, as YiAn not only steps up to the task, but also turns the Queen Mother's event into one that both the Queen Mother and the public won't forget, by proposing to HuiJu. Despite learning that white was forbidden for the event, as the Queen Mother would wear it, HuiJu showed up in all white, ready to defy the rules. What's more, it seems she and the prince had planned this ahead of time, the night he visited her. They can be seen practicing their dance steps that night, ahead of the event. Meanwhile, the culprit behind the accident is dead. Someone, obviously the Queen Mother's father, must have hired the mechanic, and then disposed of him, when investigations started. He had asked the Queen Mother for her consent, when plotting how to eliminate HuiJu. However, the Queen Mother always seems surprised when something happens. Just as she blames YiAn for her husband's death. Could it be that she doesn't know how ambitious her father is, and how far he'd go for her and the throne? Meanwhile, YiAn is sticking to HuiJu like bread to butter. He agreed with HuiJu's rule of not bending to their enemy's will, not stepping back, or compromising. But also erected his own rule: HuiJu has to have eyes only for him. They have to come across as hopelessly in love. Back in the palace, he could hardly contain his curiosity and jealousy, when the Prime Minister whispers in HuiJu's ears. He can be seen reaching for HuiJu's hand for support, surprising her. However, HuiJu takes charge, taking him from the room, and they somehow end up on the prince's bed. What's more, the public interest in HuiJu and the Grand Prince intensifies, and HuiJu is interviewed by a reporter. However, she unwittingly falls into the reporter's shenanigans. YiAn can be seen reproaching her about it. Meanwhile, after her interview, HuiJu finally goes back to the Grand Prince's residence, and receives a huge welcome from the staff. What's more, YiAn is aware that there's a spy in his private residence, and cautions HuiJu. The Queen Mother had thought that she had triumphed over HuiJu, and had even thought to make her pay, but the prince saved the day. On the last day of the royal banquet, the Queen Mother arrives in the Prime Minister's arm. She might have picked up his interest in HuiJu during her hospital visit. She makes an outrageous demand of the Prime Minister, who angrily leaves to do her bidding. Meanwhile, HuiJu and YiAn are like every other couple, as YiAn becomes impatient waiting for HuiJu to dress up. Finally, they have a little moment before their entrance, when YiAn is enthralled by HuiJu. He reminds her that they have to appear completely in love. Their entrance is splendid, as HuiJu beams under all the attention and the spotlight. During dance time, she can be seen dancing with the Prime Minister, while her eyes stay glued to YiAn. She finally has her dance with the Grand Prince, and it is spectacular. YiAn gets down on one knee at the end of the dance, to propose to her, causing a shock wave among the guests. Of course, the Queen Mother and her father are not going to stand for this. It's yet to be known what their grand aim is. Who else can hardly wait for the next episode? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell for all things wonderfully K-drama. Thanks for watching, bye.